Do I like? That. Oh, my hair is all messed up. Whatever. I need chapstick. Great. I don't have any. Good morning, folks. I hope you have had a great week. My name is Josh Tyler. Welcome to my channel, where I talk about life lessons that I have learned in hopes of giving you a new perspective to grow from. Before I get into today's topic, I want you to comment below 3 things that were highlights for your week, because I think it's always important to focus on the highlights. For me, it was getting back in the gym. I'm blessed to have one in my garage. It was getting this YouTube channel up and running and being able to work from home for a couple weeks. I just got to get a little reprieve from work and work from home as an essential worker. It's weird that what I do is considered essential work, but it's whatever. You're all stuck at home. I have to manage it. That's why it's essential. On today's episode, we are going to talk about insecurities, which, if you haven't seen last week's episode, go check it out because it doesn't really have anything to do with this week's episode. I have just formatted all of my videos to string together to an apex of self-growth before we start getting into some serious other topics. So let's get into it. Now, insecurities. This is kind of a little bit of a big topic to tackle because insecurities for people can stem from so many different things. We all have different triggers and backgrounds and life events that have led to some insecurities that we might have. But like most things, let's break it down to its simplest form and go from there. For me, I've broken it down into 2 topics, 2 segments, sections, groupings, 2 thoughts. The first one is family. This is obviously the people that are around you while you're growing up, where you live, the region in which you're from, the ideologies that form from being in that area. This one really specifically hits home for me because being a little gay in a small town was a lot. It really fed into a lot of early insecurities for me as a young gay man, because you start forming your identity in this world where people are already telling you it's wrong, and so that's a weight to bear. And then number 2, which is the society side of this, which is marketing. How you should look, where you should live, the clothes you should wear, the people you should associate, all of those things that feed into our insecurities. So, how do you take this 2-sided coin of insecurity and dissect it down to who you are and overcome them? From these 2 points are where a lot of thoughts around who I am as a person come and how I value the things around me. But more specifically, how I value myself. Because at the end of the day, all I can control is myself and the way that I view myself. The world doesn't matter. I know that, that second side of the coin, the societal side of the coin, feels like it should really be an integral part to this whole equation, but it's not. And while you may be at whatever age in your life, it's not important at all. It had taken me a really long time not only to identify a lot of my own insecurities because I was reacting from the place of those insecurities, but also the root of the insecurities. That is always and will be the vein of all of my videos, is finding the root of the issue. And a lot of mine gets traced back, unfortunately, to my family, because those original insecurities affected a lot of my relationships with people as I was developing through my years on this earth. So, let's break it down from my own lived experience. Example 1, the family. This side of the coin for me was so huge through my development because I always repressed a lot of my homosexual urges, which therefore caused me to pull back from people in my life and disconnect. As I started to identify who I was as a person,
a wee little gay man,
I would have outside stimulus from my family saying that sin is wrong, it's bad, you're going to go to hell, religion, 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 religion. As that continually was fed to me over years of my development before I came out, it continually caused me to pull back from all of the people that I had in my life that should have technically been my support system, but weren't. Ironically, and unknowing to them, which is unfair to them slightly, but then also that's their problem, but that's another video, that's a whole nother rant. Unbeknownst to them, they were basically pushing me further and further away because they were sharing their thoughts and ideologies around things that, one, they didn't really know much about, but then two, that there was someone in the room that was going through it. That was the number one. The family side of it was me pulling away from people because of that thing. And so then as I started to develop as a young man, through my life, I had such a hard time letting go of those repressed feelings and opening up to people and growing closer to them because it was such an insecurity for me. Just gayness was such an insecurity for me. This side of the insecurity coin is always tricky to talk about because we think that it needs to be a part of the equation. At the end of the day, you are who you are. You are gorgeous the way that you are, the person that you are. And the things that we're fed by society should not dictate the way in which you view yourself. If you want to change yourself because of your own choice and because you want to move somewhere different, be something different, be healthier, whatever it may be, it needs to be your choice, not because society is telling you to do it, because then it's not really rooted in you and it's not authentic, and then we have a whole nother video about authenticity later. So be authentic to yourself. Otherwise, no one's gonna really like you. And if you are authentic to yourself, it also doesn't mean everyone's gonna like you. But that's a whole nother tangent for another video. Okay, so I hope that all made sense to everyone. But I just want to say this before I go. As I was writing this episode, I really found that I was having a hard time making an emotional connection to my insecurities. And as I was having a discussion with a friend about the disconnect, I kept framing it in the context that I didn't have any insecurities, which is obviously not the case, and through the conversation realized that I just no longer hold any weight around my insecurities. The reason that I say that is this: you will always have insecurities in one form or another at some point in your life. But the key to overcoming those insecurities is identifying the root and working slowly to remove the power that they have in your life. This could take months, this could take years. It all just depends on how you come at it and your fortitude around getting over them, moving through them, working with them, whatever it may be. This will obviously take time, and right now they might feel huge, but the key is to meditate and reflect on them daily and slowly chip away at them, and over time you will slowly grow past them. So in the comments below, I want you to write ways in which you've overcome your insecurities, because this is a community, we're here to help one another, and there might have been things and ways that you've done that could help someone else. So in the comments below, write how you overcame your insecurities. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that jazz, because it's 2021. At this point, you should know at the end of every video, we want you to do that, because how can we spread the word and help people? Anyway. Be good, do good, have a great weekend, have a great week. I will see you next Friday. Bye! That was like a really good stream of consciousness. Oh, that was actually funny. Oh no! I don't like anything that I'm wearing.